Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Avengers, issue 19, 2023. I really like this cover. It has all the Avengers on it, it has Doom, kind of fits into what's kind of going on, but it just has a nice kind of feel of it. Doom looming over, the Avengers like, what the fuck, man? So, let us crack into this. Now, Tony, at this point, still is in his kind of Mysterium armor. That will kind of probably change as we have gotten a relaunch of Iron Man's armor and Iron Man series as well, so we'll see kind of how that kind of ripple effects. So we start off in the Impossible City Earth orbit. Are you sure about this? I am. There are an untold number of prisoners within the Tesseract space inside of Meridian Diadem. We have already waited too long, ignored what could be happening there. I'm going in. I suppose if anyone could survive a recon mission in there, it would be the Black Panther. And I suppose the timing has nothing to do with the fact that your ex-wife just joined the team. Captain America you may be, but the Falcon's sharp eyes remain. You're being ridiculous. I've never been afraid of death, Sam. Only losing. And losing Aurora Monroe is my greatest failure. That's kind of interesting. I do like that we're dealing with something important, but also wrapping it up into T'Challa's relationship with Storm joining the team and how he kind of feels about that. Now, I'm not that well versed with how T'Challa and Aurora's relationship went, but it's interesting to see that still being explored here, but in a pretty effective way where it doesn't feel like I need to read an entire couple of arcs or whatnot to get it going. Going to be a little, let's see here. Yeah, we're now shifting to Carol and Storm talking. Going to be a little short-handed with T'Challa doing his recon mission inside Maria Diadem and Thor going on leave. I'm glad you're here, Aurora. Do you know Carol? So am I. This feels right. And our new home is very charming. Thank you, Aurora. I am endeavoring to be the best Avenger I can be. Mr. Jarvis has been such an inspiration. And I kind of like that. I do like that the Impossible City has gotten such a kind of mentorship kind of relationship with Jarvis. It's kind of cool. And I suppose T'Challa throwing himself into a dangerous solo mission to avoid an awkward conversation is about as T'Challa a thing as there ever has been. Well, X isn't a superhero, and you know how it is. He'll be fine. He's an extraordinary man, but he's always had to fight his pride. I am well aware of both of those things. Besides, he's right. This needs to be done, and he's the one who needs to do it. And if there's one good thing to have come out of the blood hunt, it's that he and Sam are tight again. It's good for both of them, as we see that they're talking and have a nice kind of conversation. And then we see that Tony's kind of helping him out, and Sam and T'Challa are on that kind of bro thing. It's that's kind of cool. I do like that has helped out their relationship. And he's in. I don't like him going in alone, but it is how he works best. Fair enough. Now it's all down to waiting for T'Challa to signal for extraction. Excuse me, Avengers, a priority transmission is coming in. You told me to expect it and to put it through, right through, or something to happen. Hello, Avengers. It is time. Ooh, okay. What's going on here? And I really do like that the Impossible City looks up to Jarvis. That's kind of a cool thing. Doom would speak with you. And this page, the art's been great, but this really sells Doom just being fucking Doom with his Sorcerer Supreme cloak and everything. It's shit, how's this gonna go? So we shift to the Registan Desert in Afghanistan. Well, here we are. Be ready for anything. And we see everybody kind of Avengered up, which really looks awesome. And I really like, shifting over, Tony's armor there. Yeah. Avengers, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Storm. Good. Prompt. Doom's time is too valuable to be wasted. It's okay. So, Victor, or your astral form at any rate, you've stolen the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme. Have you asked us here to justify yourself? No. I have summoned you here to justify yourselves. Yeah, Doom right there. And I really like how Jed does and captures pretty much Doom here. And the art really sells it as well. Of course, he'd have a green astral projection form. But he's just yeah, it fits with what I've been seeing through Doom throughout most of the Marvel kind of stuff that I read. And especially also still lining up with what's been going on in Fantastic Four when he pops up. Justify ourselves. There he is. That's Doom, all right. Damn straight, Tony. Explain yourself, Doom. In my new position as Sorcerer Supreme, I've been meditating on the nature of power. As the Avengers, you represent one of the greatest concentrations of power in this world. So, why have you let the world you've sworn to protect come to this state? Same could be asked of you, Doom. You know what I mean? The world is riven by war, harrowed by hate, fractured, broken, warring flags. Lesser men wield power over their betters. Injustice is the common currency of the nations of this world that should be your world. Why have you, the most powerful, allowed this to happen? And I mean, he does have a point. There's a lot of bad shit going on, but it isn't just like, oh, Doom's right, blah, 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 blah. It's like, we get to it. Injustice, coming from Dr. Doom, pretty rich. Speaking of flags, an oversight. I should have clarified that while I would speak with the Avengers, I have no interest in anything Captain America could say. Why don't you spit it out so we can all get back to our busy days, Doom? Gladly, Captain Marvel. I've summoned you here to the Graveyard of Empires for the answer to one question. And we then shift over to a really good one page. Why have you not taken this world in hand and set things right? Which, that's a question that always has to be asked. And granted, it's asked at various kind of points, but it's interesting to ask at this point and to see what the answers are. And just seeing Doom just... It's like, ah, shit. What army could stand against you? What weapons could the nations of Earth bring to bear against your power, your cunning, your skill? Each of you is more than a match for any nation. 7 of you together, more than a match for the world. What stays your hand, Avengers? Is it a lack of character, the cloak of cowardice that you call morality? Or is it a fatal lack of imagination, unable to conceive of a better world? As he pretty much sets upon them, I would say, sand zombies? Like, it looks like they're made out of the dirt more than anything, but like of various different kind of warriors and soldiers from the past. Perhaps the latter. Perhaps I should show you what could be. And this gets nutty to see what Doom views. And I love how the paneling works on this. I mean, we pretty much get our vertical ones as we see, and you see Doom's colors as you're shifting through. A captain not of a decrepit union, a dying imperial power, but of a unified world. And I mean, yeah, that sounds good. Until you see how it kind of works out with Doom shit. And another captain, now truly a marvel, representing a world brought together, ready to take its place on the galactic stage among equals. A flawed genius finally free of weapons, consigning both his and the world's addiction to war to the scrap heap of history. Now, I really like how the armor looks there. I'm sorry, I like the tech and the armor for that stuff. A goddess, finally doing for her people what all the Avengers and X-Men could not, securing the future of mutants, as we see her, Aurora doing her kind of thing. It's like, shitting on both X-Men and Avengers. The greatest of all artificial life forms, freed from the imposition of human morality, free to burn the scourge of his ancestry from the face of the world no matter the cost. And that is why Doom doesn't work. Like, yeah, sure, you've got Vision there. It's like, no matter the cost, but that's the thing. Vision and the rest of them think of the cost. And the hero to the hopeless, finally living up to her name, finally exercising the power she keeps so in check without fear of damaging the false structures of this world. It's way too much of an oversimplification and just allowing Scarlet Witch to not understand her powers and understand the consequences of her powers. And because we've already had no more mutants and shit, and we see pretty much Doom Avengers, like, right there. A good world, a right world, an Avengers world. But, of course, since T'Challa's not there, we don't get, like, the Doom Black Panther. It's like, shit. But that's scary to me. It's like, oh god, doomed ones. It's like, that's freaky. Consider, this is not what could be. This is what should have been. This is what true ethics would demand of those with true power. I'm like, what? Enough. I have seen enough as Storm goes. And I really like how she's presented in front of the panels and then as the panels go down. That's really kind of cool. You ask a question in such a way that the only answer possible is the one you wish. Yes, you... If anything, this is a good comic book and a good book just to show that, like, of leading questions. Doom is asking the question in such a way that his answer is the only right answer. You have to be careful when someone does that to you, because sometimes their answer isn't the right answer, and there's other ways to ask and frame the question that could lead to various different kind of outcomes. And I'm like, good on you, Aurora. I know war, I built war, was raised on war, and if the Avengers tried to take control of the world, it would be war. We would have to kill thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds, and that's just in the opening moves. True, Tony. A final world can't be created like that. And I like how a lot of the Avengers answer with this. It's not just one person leading and talking about it. It's the same thing as if Steve Rogers was doing this kind of stuff. He would say his piece, but the rest of the Avengers would say it as well, because it's a team effort. You may be correct. We may have the power to take the world, but not the right. Exactly. Power and responsibility. Spider-Man. We are not the ultimate authority, Doom. We cannot be. That is what you, of all people, could never understand. Exactly. We protect the world, Doom. Protect it from the things that would end it. But we cannot fix it unilaterally. It is not a machine. We are protectors, not tyrants. We cannot impose our will on billions simply because we are strong, because we are powerful, not without betraying what the Avengers are. Damn straight vision. Yeah. And I think it's really important for him to do that because of his legacy and connection to Ultron. No one person can rule this world. No 7 people can. Not well, not right. Not without making it worse than it already is. True, Carol. We will always be there to save the world, but not by taking away its ability to save itself. True. You have to balance that. They'll always be there to help and save the world, but not by taking away its ability to save itself, to get others to rise up and find those answers and solutions and to save the world. And I do like that we get some interesting kind of paneling here as well. It's like really kind of staggered and Doom thinking. It's like, I see, I was incorrect. No way, I should have recorded that. I'm glad you're seeing reason. Do not interrupt me. Damn it, of course. I was incorrect. It wasn't a lack of imagination that has held you back. It was cowardice. Of course, Doom has to come to that conclusion. You, all of you with such power, yet so afraid of that power. Yes. Not enough to stop them from helping people, but of what could be done if they don't use that power correctly or let it run wild and consume them and consume the world. You let your fear master you when you should have mastered this world. You let your fear make you small, but Doom has never been, will never be small. And there's nothing that can master Doom. Goodbye, Avengers. Like, anybody who says that or thinks that, nope. So there we go later. So I might be crazy, but I don't think we changed his mind. No, Tony, I don't think you're crazy, and I don't think we did. There was never a chance of that. That wasn't what today was about. True vision. The purpose of Doom's little demonstration was not to change our minds or his. It was a thought exercise. We were props, his devil's advocate. And I kind of like that we're going through logic and reasoning and philosophical debate here. That's kind of weird, but kind of awesome that this is happening here. Good comics do that kind of stuff. Like in Fantastic Four when it goes into crazy-ass science concepts. This is cool, while still retaining the character and everything going on in the Marvel Universe. Our only purpose was to aid him in troubleshooting his own thinking, to allow him to reinforce his own ideas, the rightness of them. That's not how you should go into this kind of thing. That is a very poor way to understand what goes on and how to communicate with people. If that's all you're ever going to do, you're just going to keep doing whatever you want, and that is going to blow up on you at some point. He believes that he must do what we will not, and he now has the power to see it through. Yes, be afraid, Vision. And then we get Avengers Assemble letters, which is pretty nice. And then we get a look at the next issue. Issue 20. Black Panther journeys inside Meridian Diadem, the living prison, but is he prepared for what he finds? Ooh, we'll have to see. Showcasing off also Avengers Assemble 2. For this month, and Avengers United. And it says next month West Coast Avengers issue 2. I was kind of confused. I thought West Coast Avengers issue 1 came out next month. But it could be enough on a timescale that it like doubles up. But I really enjoyed this one because it dives into two core and important kind of things. It dives into who the Avengers are and how they view their role in the world, and Doom and how he views his role in the world, and how he views the Avengers' role in the world as well. How he would have the Avengers operate. And that's an important kind of thing. Like, there's not a lot of action. We do get them fighting kind of sand things that are set against them and whatnot, but that's in the background. The biggest kind of battle is the ideological one of how Doom views power should be utilized versus how the Avengers. And I love the little bit at the beginning where we're setting T'Challa up for pretty much his kind of like little adventure in the next issue, and understanding his relationship with Storm, and getting just that little kind of character flavors and everything without it just being plot and exposition dump, while also understanding how the Impossible City kind of views his role as another kind of Jarvis and looking up to Jarvis, and that's cool because Jarvis is a cool dude and he deserves that. And I really enjoyed this one, and it had really good art, and we had really cool kind of poses and stuff that just really looked very well. And now we should be afraid for what Doom is going to be setting us up on next. So we're going to see him taking over his overarching stuff. We're going to be getting a little bit more into that stuff, I think, starting off more with the eight deaths of Spider-Man. But it'll be interesting to see how it kind of affects the Avengers with their tribulation events, Kang the Conqueror and all that. What Doom might potentially be doing with Kang. I know Kang has pretty much been screwed over by Mastodon and the court. So we'll see what kind of goes on and how Doom as the Sorcerer Supreme affects those tribulation events, if it's been woven in as one of the giant kind of tribulation events. We'll have to see. There's a lot of kind of cool stuff, and I'm just along for the ride. So, those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.